Hey guys, and welcome to Always Remember Me, a love simulator that I play way too much. So, we're going to play, and normal difficulty, and we'll do the standard intro. Wow, that's really slow. Text speed, can you not? Thanks. Oh. Okay, hold on. No. Wait. The evening was wearing on, the warm colors of the twilight are starting to fade from the sky. I don't know what to do. You're doing enough. Don't worry about things so much. But he still doesn't approve of me. Do you think he just doesn't like my job? Maybe he thinks it doesn't earn enough money. Or that I should be doing something better. I would like to do more, but it's the best part-time job I could find. His eyes were sympathetic as he looked down at my worried expression. I know he feels bad that his father, Osher, was creating so much grief for us, but I also knew that the situation was going to be difficult when I decided to stay with him. I don't think it's your work. He can be pretty stubborn. I know some people think I could do better. It's not like his job at an ice cream parlor is anything special. I'm attending my first year of college for creative writing. It's a natural fit since I've always loved to write poetry and prose. I've had to take a part-time job during the summer to pay for my studies. Some girls in my classes have really good summer jobs. Honestly, I don't think he'd approve of any girl without a lot of persuading. And I don't think it's anything personal. He's just being stubborn. Yes, but after all this time, I really thought that he would have warmed up to me by now. He just doesn't understand that we're serious about our relationship. Says sad Aaron. Or does he want to understand? It's just so exasperating since everyone else has been so supportive of us. He'll come around eventually, it's just a matter of time. I hope so. I just wish he wouldn't object almost every time he finds out that we're going on a date. I know, but it'll get better soon, I promise. We reached the parking lot that led back to the boardwalk and park. Oh, we reached the staircase that led back to the boardwalk and parking lot. Even over the sand dunes, I could see where Aaron's motorcycle was parked. We were about to ascend the stairs when he stopped and turned to face me. He took my other hand in his, leaned down gently, and kissing me on the lips. I couldn't help but smile slightly, feeling my anxiety melt away. Don't look so worried all the time, okay? You're much more beautiful when you're smiling, Amy. He returned the smile, and I leaned up to kiss him again. You're such a romantic! You make it sound like a bad thing. We both laughed as we ascended the stairs, still hand in hand. This is definitely how it should be. I always feel so safe with him at my side. Let's go home, okay? Okay, but can we stop for ice cream first? I get an employee discount on everything. That's what I would benefit from an ice cream shop. Sure. Yeah. They have the best new type of ice cream sundae now. Well, we should split one. Sounds good. My smile grew brighter as pleasant thoughts passed through my mind. He mounted his motorcycle and I sat on the back, wrapping my arms around his middle and holding on tightly. I rested my head against his broad shoulders. I let a contented sigh escape my lips as the engine started up. The sun disappeared beneath the horizon, and the darkness of the night began to take over the sky. We sped out of the parking lot in less than a minute, and onto the nearly empty road that led back into town. The trees blurred as we flew down the road. We were only driving for a short while before a strange feeling of foreboding settled over me. I shivered involuntarily, despite the warm temperature, and squeezed Aaron tightly, watching as it got darker and darker on the one-way road. I was thinking of what to make for us for breakfast in the morning when we reached an intersection. We waited patiently for the light to change color, and when the green circle let off its artificial glow, Aaron resumed driving, as he normally would. We had just entered the intersection when suddenly I heard it. What? I looked up, eyes wide with confusion, to see another car barreling down the road, swerving back and forth as it approached us. Aaron tried to steer away from the oncoming vehicle, but there was no hope of evasion. The car made no attempt to brake as it passed through the red light and collided with us. All I remember before the hellacious sound of the crash and losing my consciousness was Aaron turning the motorcycle to try and protect me from being directly hit. When I opened my eyes, the brightness of lights above me were almost blinding. Though I had never spent much time in a hospital, I recognized the scent of disinfectant and various other cleaners to be similar to what one smelled in a doctor's office. Where am I? It took me a moment waiting for my eyes to adjust to the bright lights before I remembered what happened. My eyes widened at horror, at the vividness of the memory. Aaron! I sat up abruptly, feeling a dull ache when I moved. A nurse out in the hallway heard my sudden cry and quickly hurried to my room. Miss, please lay back down. You weren't seriously injured in the crash, but we would like you to rest before we decide if you're ready to be released. I'll be looking after you until that time comes. Your injuries are minimal, only minor bruising, but we can't let you leave just yet. We were in a car accident, right? That's correct. Please lay back down. We're very glad to see that you're conscious, but rest is imperative. I reluctantly laid back down, but I was completely awake and not letting the woman leave before I had a proper explanation. Can you tell me what happened? What about the other man that I was with? Aaron, is he okay? The nurse's expression seemed to darken slightly when I mentioned him, which made me worry even more. What happened? I have to know. I'm not fully aware of the situation. I need to call Dr. Rayner. He can explain everything to you. Oh. I waited impatiently, dissatisfied with the nurse's quick departure. It only took a few minutes for a handsome young man in a doctor's uniform to enter the room. I was surprised to see that he wasn't all that much older than Aaron and I, most likely a fresh graduate out of medical school. Good evening, Amy. I'm very glad to see that you're awake. My name's Eddie Rayner, but you can call me Eddie. The man said with a warm smile, revealing perfect white teeth. Yes, good, everything. What time is it? Is it still Saturday? Well, actually, it's Sunday. It's 3 in the morning. I'd be happy to answer your questions, but you should probably get back to bed soon. I'm not doing anything until I find out what happened to Aaron. The young doctor's smile faded as his reaction, much like the nurse's. Unable to hold back my growing worry, I found myself starting to yell as tears gathered in my eyes. I have to know what happened to him, please. Is he all right? Eddie stood up and nodded towards the door, motioning for me to follow. Dun, dun, dun. I felt my heart sink and then begin to fill with cold dread. He noticed the fear in my expression and gave me a brief explanation. I'd rather show you his current condition, but I assure you, he's fine, and his life is in no danger. He sustained a head injury. He will recover, and it doesn't seem like he has any severe damage, but he has some loss of memories. I don't know why he's William Shatner now, but he is. We're trying to observe the specifics of what he has forgotten. As the nurse probably told you, your injuries are minimal. Please follow me. I can take you to him so you can see that he is alright. I hurried, pulling on a pair of slippers that had been... this is not Eddie talking. Whoops. I hurried, pulling on a pair of slippers that had been left beside my bed, and followed the young doctor as he led me out into the hospital room and into the hallway, listening attentively to every word I said. From what I can tell, he was trying to protect you during the crash, and we are keeping you and him overnight for observations, but other than some bruises, you're perfectly okay. You don't have broken bones or severe internal bleeding, thanks to Aaron's efforts. I felt my heart retch as I followed him through the hallways. He wasn't walking very quickly, and apparently conscientious of how I felt. Aaron... From what we can tell, Aaron has suffered from amnesia. He still retains long-term memories, but recent ones from the past few years are hazy or non-existent. He's quite a bit confused at the moment, so we want to be sure he's not to cause him any unnecessary emotional stress. We need him to regain his memory on his own, but it will be in slow steps. I see. This is my studio. I know this is a lot to take in, so please feel free to ask me any questions you might have. He still remembers his family, but he doesn't seem to recall anything from recent meals. You mean, he doesn't remember me? I'm sorry? We asked him about having a girlfriend, but he doesn't seem to remember anyone by the name of Amy. I felt tears. I'd been determined not to cry, welling up in my eyes again, ready to fall. I see. We walked to the doorway and into a room with a glass window that let me see into Aaron's room. I'm sorry to ask you this, but since we don't want to cause him any grief or aggravation, or aggravate, his condition, I must ask you that you do not meet with him yet. He's very confused, needs rest. I understand. I remained there for a long time watching him, and I let tears suddenly slip down my cheeks as two nurses spoke to Aaron, who wore a perplexed expression. How could you forget all about me? You can move between locations on this map. Right now you can only turn back to your home, but later in the game you'll be able to move wherever you want. Dope. So, that was the intro. Apparently Eddie is William Shatner, and Amy is my interview voice, question mark? Like I said, I've played this game like way too much, especially since I haven't had internet, and this is the only one that really doesn't require it to like enjoy. Oh, it's really kind of embarrassing, but I'm gonna play through it. We're just gonna kind of go with it. I don't really know what I want to do. Every time I play this game, I always seem to end up going for Eddie, so I'm gonna try not to. There's three other guys that I could like be with, so I'm gonna try to figure it out from there. But we'll go home now. And I was released from the hospital in the morning and came right home. When I walked inside, I was greeted with a soft meow from my cat, Nina, who brushed up against my leg. Hi, Nina. Did you miss me? I smiled and reached down to pet her affectionately. But I couldn't help but remember how Aaron always fussed over her. Nina was a great Disney character, and she adored Aaron, even before he started to bring her treats for her all the time. Whoops. Aaron always loved cats so much. He loved big cats and little cats like you, but you were always his favorite kitty. Nina cuddled my fingers affectionately when I knelt down to pick her up. But Aaron has probably forgotten about you too. The sadness I'd been trying to keep out of the front of my mind returned as I pulled my cat into an embrace and sighed. I had slept very poorly, and the fatigue from the crash hadn't worn off. I lost my parents in a car accident, and now it looks like I'm going to lose the man I love to one as well. I sat in the living room with Nina on my lap when Gwenda came in to comfort me. Oh, Amy, what happened? I briefly tell her about the accident. She was overjoyed to know that I was all right and that I hadn't hardly been hurt. Oh, thank goodness you're okay. But why didn't you call me? The doctor said I was all right and I didn't want you to worry about me. I'd been staying with my Aunt Gwenda for several years since my parents passed away, and when I was young, Gwenda had taken care of me ever since. She's a kind woman, and I greatly appreciated how caring she'd always been to me. However, her pension wasn't enough to fully pay for my college tuition, which is why I took the part-time job at the ice cream parlor. You can now make your first choice. Dope. On each icon, you'll see a brief description of the events. Whatever. I know how to play this game. Yep, I know how to play this game. We're going to talk with our aunt, because she always makes us feel better. Yes, my dear, what's troubling you? Aaron doesn't remember me at all, and the doctors say they won't give him too much stress since it might make him forget more, or make it harder for him to remember what he's forgotten. Honey, I'm sure he'll remember you soon enough. You're the love of his life. The two of you are so close, the cutest little lovebirds in town. It's just these past years that he's forgotten, though. What if he doesn't recover? Then you have to make him love you again. Really? You think... Oh, really? You think that would work? I'm so afraid that we might never be together again. We have so many precious memories, and to think he doesn't remember any of them. I couldn't help but shudder at the thought. You'll be able to do it. You'll be able to do it in the absolute worst case scenario. You just have to start off from square one again. Even if his mind doesn't recall the memories you two share. You two. Yeah, that's nice. His heart will still love you. Not even amnesia can erase that. You're right. Thank you, Auntie. I feel a bit better now. Of course, that is what family is for.
Who's awesome? I'm awesome.
Oh, she always makes us feel better. Now we're just gonna watch
Awesome!
TV. And, oh, we got cake. Thanks, Gwenda. But I'd like to stay alone for a while and rest, okay? I didn't sleep very well at the hospital. I had too much on my mind. Get some rest. Thanks. Well, my bedroom. I picked up a notebook and I decided to write down my feelings. A poem. Your gentle touch, the warmth of your embrace, the passion of your kiss, precious times that felt ever so divine. I thought they would never leave, but even though I can't reach you anymore, I can't open my eyes to find you there. I'll always have my memories, though they are not as warm as the hands that always made me feel so safe. I know they will never disappear, as you now have. My beloved, my heart is forever yours, and even if you're lost beyond where my trembling voice can reach you, even if your memories fade or disappear into the darkness, I will never forget the precious times when we faced the world together. My beloved, for today, tomorrow, for the days that may never return. Never forget the words we once exchanged. I love you. When I woke the next morning, I knew that I had to go to the ice cream parlor. It was Sunday, and I had a long shift to attend to. I considered calling out, knowing that they would understand if I explained the situation, but I decided that it would be best to go in anyway. Otherwise, everyone would start to worry about me. I had no doubt that the news of the accident was already traveling quickly. Gossip seemed to spread around the town pretty fast. I got ready and arrived at the shop 15 minutes before the start of my shift. I haven't wanted to dwell at home, though as soon as I walked in, I knew I was too early. I was still early, and it was still early morning, and there were only a few customers around. I was surprised to catch sight of a familiar face seated at one of the tables, apparently taking a break from work. Hey, Amy, are you okay? I couldn't help but notice the genuine worry on his expression when he saw the bruises on my arms and legs. I appreciated his concern. Good morning, Lawrence. I'm doing okay. Are you sure? Those bruises look really painful. Yes, I'm sure. They aren't as bad as they look. Really? I don't know if I could work with the bruises that big. You're a strong woman. I can hardly feel them. Thanks, though. How did it happen? You aren't in any trouble, are you? Tell him everything. Well, I got in a car accident. What? When was that? How did it happen? I felt a little bad for worrying, but the tenderness in his eyes made me feel slightly better. It was nice to know that there were people who cared. I decided to explain to him what had happened, since there was little secret to it. I was on a motorcycle with Aaron. He protected me, but we got into a crash. That's why I'm not very badly hurt. It wasn't his fault. They think the other driver was drunk. That's terrible. How's Aaron? I haven't heard anything about him recently. Actually, Aaron suffered a head injury. He has amnesia now? I'm sorry to hear that. How bad is it? Will he recover? They think he will. Luckily, it isn't too expensive, but he doesn't remember me anymore. Lawrence's eyes widened slightly when I revealed the cost of Aaron's protection. Amy. It's not so bad. Thanks for worrying about me, Lawrence. Yeah, I'm making relationships. It's really nice to see people who still care, but I've got to go start my shift. I'll talk to you more later. See you later. During the summer, Amy works for... Yeah, I know this. She works part-time here. Doesn't make any money. Yeah. Yep, thanks. Yep.
This must be Who's awesome? I'm awesome.
And then your regular shift is over, but you can come here again and decide to do overtime if you have morale and energy until evening. You can also come here anytime to perform other actions like talking with Lawrence, who works here full time, every day, until evening, or getting ice cream for yourself. Remember, though, that doing overtime is very stressing. And if your morale is up, it's a really bad idea. I still feel weak. It'd be better back home. I'd blab, yep, home. I turned on, Lena and I went up to my room and I turned on my computer to check my email, mostly to see if there was any news from Aaron's family or the hospital. I knew it was rather unlikely to have correspondence from them so soon, but I couldn't help but hold on to the hope that there would be something new. I sat down at my desk, looked around my inbox, scanning titles and senders of new and unread messages I found when I saw there was nothing new from Eddie or anyone else from the hospital. Nothing good. Too bad. I tried to do some research on amnesia. Yeah, it's bad. Yep. Kept reading, but I got confused. Oops. I got distracted from reading when a small notification box saying I had a new email popped up. Dope. I clicked a bit absent-mindedly since the address was unknown. Maybe I shouldn't open it. It could be a virus or a spam. Nina hopped on the desk and meowed rather loudly. Okay. Well, I suppose it wouldn't hurt to see what it is, right, Nina? I opened the email, eyeing the unknown address early. The message was simple and written in plain black text. Hey there, Amy. I hear you're quite the poet. I'd love to read more of your work, but you don't share it with anyone, do you? I'm a big fan and your secret admirer, as the saying goes. Keep writing, girl. Ignore the message? Yeah. I shook my head slightly and clicked back to the inbox, deciding to ignore the unusual message. I was about to check my book review blog when the computer shut down. I tried to restart it several times and nothing happened. My computer just had to break at a time like this. For a moment I thought it would be a virus from that mysterious email, but then I realized that was silly. The computer wouldn't even turn on, so the failure was clearly in the hardware. Still, Nina's sitting... Oh, Nina... Whatever, no one cares about the cat. Great, now I won't be able to check my email or blog from home anymore.
This must be an off day.
Use computer, fail, damn. I must go to sleep now. Tomorrow I have work. I'm rolling cheese. I need to hurry. My morning shift at the ice cream starts soon.
Aww.
Dang, I suck at this. To the hospital. I went to the hospital to go visit Aaron, but as soon as I entered the room, I had a feeling this visit wasn't going to go very well. Good morning, Aaron. Hi. How are you feeling today? A little better, thanks. He smiled at me politely, but without any tenderness I was used to seeing. An awkward silence settled in as I sat down at the chair beside his bed. Lacking any other ideas to get the conversation started going, I started with Yep. I didn't want to pressure him with anything that medics wouldn't approve of me discussing with him. How's hospital food around here? Is it okay? That's what I would ask. It's pretty good. Definitely better than I can cook. Hee, I'm glad you like it. But I'm sure you're not that bad of a cook. You've never had my cooking, then. I wanted to say that I had, but quickly restrained. He wasn't a very good cook, but it made more fun when he came to the... But it made it more fun when he came to the ice cream or when I cooked for him. By the way, I was wondering... Yeah? Who are you? The question was so simple, so polite, so impersonal. But it still broke my heart. Okay, so... If we tell him that we're his girlfriend, he gets mad. And if we tell him that he's a friend, then he friend zones us. So this is like a lose-lose situation. We're just going to tell him that we're a friend. His words hurt, and I was certain my eyes betrayed a degree of sadness. I covered it up with a smile, hoping he didn't notice the momentary change. Oh, I'm a friend of yours. My name is Amy. Oh, okay, I'm sorry. It's just that my memory is really hazy. It's okay, I understand. Don't restrain yourself. He returned my smile with a nod. You're a very nice girl, Amy. Whatever. Thanks. Now, if you excuse me, I'm getting really tired. I'd better get some sleep. Sure, I'll come visit you again soon. You're on your own now. So we only have one more thing to do. I'm gonna go to the library.
Yeah!
Oh, I didn't mean to click that. Whatevs. Alright guys, so I'm gonna end this episode here. I don't know, I might just keep playing this stupid game, but it's so addicting. It's literally all that I've been playing. So let me know in the comment section who you want me to go for. We haven't met Hugh yet, who is this one. But we met all three of the other ones. So if you can't make a decision until you meet Hugh, then wait till the next video, and I'll have it out for you guys shortly. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!
Hey there, me again. Today's video is sponsored by No Step Glasses. If you follow the link in the description, you get yourself a pair of high quality glasses for $20, and you get to help out the show. Thanks so much.